So let's start with this one. So this is a Benelli TRK 502X. They do a 502 as well, but the X is the adventure bike edition. Quite a cheap bike actually to buy new. I think it's about £5,500. These bikes were new. Got good ABS, absolute stonking little motors that are really reliable and do great. Does have a few little, what should I say, niggles with it that people have found, which I've been reading about, but nothing mad. Just the usual stuff with cheaper Chinese motorcycles, having to keep up with certain parts and servicing often. But that's you should be doing that anyway. But anyway, this one came in. It was stolen and recovered. Not sure how much they wrote it about. I'm not even sure of the mileage yet because I haven't fully wired the ignition back in and got the key in it to find out. But by the looks of it, they actually looked after it, which is rare for these bikes. I usually don't get them in this good condition. They usually come at least with some sort of crash damage along the fairings or the tanks. But no, this one is still in really great nick. The engine still looks great. Still got the right amount of oils in it. There's a little bit of rust to some of the fixings, but that's standard for Chinese motorcycles. We'll change them as we go. Probably need a new set of tyres on that. Tyres don't look great, but we can do that when we come to service it. Brakes still look in great condition. The bike's still really good to be. Sorry about the state of the garage. It's absolutely full of the kids' shite at the minute, and I do need to get it cleaned out before we start rebuilding this bike. But yeah, there you go. This is going to be the first one, so keep with me, and I'll talk you through everything that we need to do on it. So, ignition barrel. So there's two Allen key bolts here that need to be removed. This will then remove the later remove the ignition and gain access to the underside of the plug, which you could then pull it through the hole and resolder the connections that they've pulled off. Let's go for it. Sometimes these don't come off as easy as you would like. No, this just must have been off before. Maybe they've tried to, maybe they got it off when they first pulled the wires out. Didn't want to damage the key possibly, but to be fair, I doubt thieves are really conscientious about that stuff. There's one. There we go, that was a little bit tighter, but nothing major. Should be able to see that drop away in a sec. The weight of it might drop it through anyway. That might just be the cover anyway, this might just release the cover. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can release the cabling out of this. I need two hands. Put you there, mate. Right, just so you can see, that only released those two nuts there, released the cover cap that I pulled away from the cable, so I just freed this cable in from around this side of the plate and then just folded that back round. But this is what you end up with. Now on the underside here, which my finger is underneath, there'll be a Torx. Unsure of the size yet, but I'll let you know after. That should just be, maybe once you're going to do them Torx to release this ignition downwards, pull it out and then we'll be able to see if the plug's still present. So I'll get that and I'll come back. Alright, so access to these nuts on the underside of the ignition is extremely tight, so I think the easiest thing is going to be to remove this plastic sachet. We can get that off. This fender sort of, I said sachet. Think about food maybe. So yeah, I'm going to get that off and I'll come back to you. There's two bolts. So there's one here and one on this side here. With them both off, that will come down. Right, two bolts out, we now have access, much better access to the Torx nuts. If it will focus, under there. There's one on either side. Take them off and we'll be able to release the ignition. We'll do that now. Right, so here we have it. This is your average booted and broken steering lock. That's been booted. It's just cracked. To be fair, it's so cheap cast, this will always crack really before the frame ever damages on some of these cheaper bikes. So it's actually does save you. It's also been where they pulled the plug out. So actually this ignition is trash. That's going to go in. So those 2 bolts that came out of that, which you could get access to after, were these 2 T40s. And as soon as you take them out, the ignition drops away. Very easy. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be getting a new ignition barrel. In which case means we need to replace the locks to, I think, will be the petrol cap and the seat, to make sure it's got the same key for all, because it's a bit of a pain when you're having to use multiple keys for multiple locks. It doesn't really, not really good, not fun having to use multiple keys. It's just an annoyance that you don't really have to think about when you're just trying to enjoy your riding. So we'll get them ordered and replace them. Off to Benelli to get some prices. I'll let you know.